try to please me. You never let me down before. And don't imagine too familiar, and I don't see you anymore. I would not leave you in times of trouble. You never could have come this far. I could love you, take the bad times, I'll take you just the way you are. Now don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. You always have my unspoken passion, though I might not seem to care. I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. Need to know that you will always be same old someone that I knew. What will it take to you believe in me the way that I believe in you? I said I love you, and that's forever. This is our promise from the heart. Now I could love you any better. I love you just the way you are. I said I love you, that's forever. This I promise from the heart. I could love you any better. I love you just the way you What's that? Okay. Be glad to. A nice traditional sing. Be glad to. Yeah. Well, you know, as they get older, you got to talk into this mic? I could sing it, I could say it? Yeah, as you get older, you start thinking about things. I want to sing this one in church, a little gospel tune kind of thing. Yeah. 100 miles, 100 miles. Lord, I'm 100 miles from my home. Now won't you let me in? I've been trapped inside my sin. I got 100 miles to my home. You know I lost my way in this world of no return. I have fallen and somehow lost my sight. All I have is, Lord, give me one more chance to raise my eyes and walk into your light. 100 miles, 100 miles. Lord, I'm 100 miles to my home. Won't you let me in? I've been trapped inside this sin. I got 100 miles to my home. Miles, 100 miles. Sing it, children. I got 100 miles to my home. Won't you let me in? I've been trapped inside my sin. I've got 100 miles to my home. You've got 100 miles to my home.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome, 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 as Freddie would say. He's a little late. heating up some coffee. I'm assuming. I'm supposing. Anyway, happy Monday, everyone.
I was heating up coffee.
That was the amazing
Good morning.
music of Johnny and Anthony.
Johnny
Doesn't
and
it sound like
Anthony.
that?
I don't know. Isn't it a storybook or something like that?
Something like that, like a new Billy Joel, Johnny and Anthony. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. But I want to say hi to a couple of people. I want to say hi to Rochelle, who's listening and watching today. At the movies of Delray and the movies of Lake Worth. Hey, I remembered.
Very nice.
They're going to be checking out our singers here. Don't get too comfortable, gentlemen, because you're going to be working today. We are taking requests. So if you write in nicely and ask the gents to play something, we want to see how vast their knowledge is. And I'm going to tell you, these guys know. You said that every time and you come through with flying colors. In the studio, if you have a request of songs. I got to tell you, I went to the doctor this morning to my checkup, and one of the nurses there, hey, you do that show on that oldies stations, don't you? I go, yeah, huh? And she says, I remember you because of the hat. Here we go with the hat. But you had some guys in there singing the other day, and I was driving, and I wanted to call in because I wanted to call in, but I was driving. She didn't want to call while she was driving because she had a request. And she said to me something was really cool. She said their music brought back the days that I had in New York. And she says, and I almost pulled over just to listen because it brought back all these memories. And I remember you guys telling me that you do this to make people smile. Well,
So they told us, that's what Anthony told us last week. Just brings a smile. Hey, Cece, how are you doing? Our good friend Triple C.
Triple C. So Heather says, thank you for the memories and to keep up the good work. How's that? I mean, that made my morning because I had a real rough morning.
Something like that, that's it. That's it for us. That's our job.
That's what you guys love to
Health
do.
and healing of the soul, mind, body, spirit.
And it's interesting because today we have Mr. Baseball in studio. He brought a friend who believes in the same thing.
We got Mr. Baseball, we got Robin talking about Mental Health Awareness Monday, I think.
Yeah,
We
'cause
used to
it's-
do a Mental Mindset Monday all the time on this show. And
I
then it
remember.
Got a little deep and heavy.
Got a little
We haven't
heavy.
done it in a while, but
It got heavy.
you know, I think you went to see The Whale over the weekend. You said it's definitely time
Glad you brought
to
that up.
reassess that. I
Okay.
spent some time with my parents this weekend, and I think I need more of what Robin's doing, not on the sports side of it, but just on the resiliency of life side.
On the normal
I can
side
get
of
her
it.
back into, you know, the life side of resiliency,
I
as well
got
as the sports side.
I got to tell you, the segment, I was going to tell the kids to put up, let's go to the movie segment. I went to see The Whale yesterday. I went at 4:30, which is a matinee afternoon thing because that was the last showing.
An AARP discount?
I got a 3-finger discount. I just walked in. But I got to tell you, the house was full. Brady 80 came out, full house.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There wasn't a
Demographic.
so the people went over to The Whale, full house. Her brother was there. Everybody, the family was there. It was like, wow, it's nice to have people back in the movie theaters. I got to tell you, The Whale. If you haven't seen that show, if you haven't seen that movie, you better bring one of these with you. And I don't care who you are, including me. I have never been so moved by a movie. But it's not going to win anything because the academies don't like what's happening because that gentleman, that actor who I think is going to get an Oscar, he puts on a big suit.
Brandon Fraser, right?
And he's got to be over 800 pounds, this man.
Oh, wow.
The way he did it, the way they filmed it. And they squeezed the angle. Instead of being big K, it's small K because they wanted him to be taller. And it worked. But I got to tell you, what a moving deal that's going on today up here, which I'm glad, Robin, that you're here to talk about this because the Super Bowl is next Sunday. A lot of anxious moments. Irving Fryer, was just traded to the Dallas Mavericks and all the repercussions that are happening. The sports world has something that's going on in it. There's a major adjustment. Baseball is spending money like it's going out of style all over the place. The minor leaguers are getting hip to the deal. Everybody is looking for an angle. So today is Mental Awareness Day.
Mental Health Awareness Day.
That's right. Look, she's looking at me like I'm nuts.
I know you're nuts.
But it's all going to come together.
I know you're nuts.
Let's announce tonight's show. Who do we got?
Tonight?
Yeah,
Oh,
who's?
with Russell?
Yeah.
Lights, I always get it messed up. Lights in the Night with Russell. Going back, the aliens, which is interesting because, you know, we just took down this weather balloon.
Chinese?
The Chinese weather balloon, because I'm so glad they were assessing the weather in the United States. Whole lot of things I got to wonder about that whole situation, but Lights in the Night starts tonight at 8 o'clock. I believe Hallowed Earth is going to be on with him.
Yes.
See what's happening with that. You can always call into the studio live on the radio on Oldies, and at 8:30, we'll see what's happening there. Some more to come out of Aunt Meaty's
Well, they
studios.
may get a little dose of this stuff in the cafe after hours, or we have Bird Talk. It all depends on what fits tonight.
So I had Ashley's bridal shower on Saturday.
How was that?
So I didn't realize you really should fill me in more on the Hispanic culture.
Nah,
Hispanic friends
nah,
over here, okay? You do not prepare this Jewish girl for what is about to come. All right,
What is it, a shower?
a bridal shower.
And did they take him out for the male
Okay, so
version
bridal
of it?
shower in
Okay.
Miami.
Now we got it.
In the Jewish culture, 2 to 3 hours.
No,
right?
no,
So
no.
the night before, I say to Aaron, "Are we going to go out for dinner?" And he says, "Oh no, Mama. We have the bridal shower, and then there's the after
The
party.
party.
So we'll be here till about 9 o'clock at night."
Oh, no. 2, 3
Showers-
o'clock in the morning.
I got there at 1. It was a full day. By the time I got down to Miami, it was in South Miami, 1 o'clock. 4 o'clock, people started to leave because my friends from up here, nobody's heard of a Cuban bridal. We don't know from Cuban bridal showers up
talking
here.
about it. It starts at 6.
She said my friend said if we had known that it started because the bride came 2 hours late, so she got there about 3. So we were eating lunch at 3:30, and they were ready to leave by 4:30. No one told us that everyone gets there like for pre-hors d'oeuvres, and the bride shows up an hour and a half later. So 4:30, all of my girlfriends start to leave, and then
Why?
the other people, 'cause they had dinner plans, because it's an hour and a half from here to get
You don't have
to get
dinner
back
plans
up
when
home.
you go to a Latino.
We did not know that. The memo did not reach the Jewish mother-in-law up here. Is
It's
all
a
I can
known
tell
thing.
You. No, you both missed the memo, but it was lovely. I have to tell you, when you get out of Palm Beach County and you go down, there were 50 women, and they were amazing. No judgment, just love, just incredible people, dancing and music, paella, the size of this stage. There was a
Well, hold on
paella
a second.
station.
Do you know
Oh
what
my
this
gosh.
whole thing is supposed to be? It's their last fling of the...
The bridal
They're doing-
shower?
yeah.
It wasn't a bachelor party. It was a bridal,
the bridal
shower.
What the hell's a bridal shower? What is that?
So
What is that? I thought it was the other one.
it's to give all the bride her pre-gifts, I guess.
Pre-gifts.
Her grandmother and her aunts, everyone was there.
Never heard of it.
It's just another reason to party.
Never heard of it.
So we go there early. This is
Did
how
you know what that is? You guys know? Yeah?
the
yeah.
Hispanic male population apparently
I
is
don't think
very
we
different as
celebrate
well.
that.
Oh, no, let me tell you what happened. So Aaron says, "Dad, drop Mom off. I'll pick you up, and we'll go out for lunch. We'll go to the Grove." Great.
Lunch.
We got this all planned out. So Chuck's standing in the middle living room, and all of Ashley's aunts are smaller than me. And I said to him, "You got to go." He says, "Why?" I said, "Because you're just too big to even be in this room. You got to leave." So I said,
Too big.
"He's too big. I mean, you got to go. You're making these women, you're intimidating them." So they finally leave, and the bride's father and the host has had it. Everyone leaves their separate ways. And I'm thinking, this is weird. There's all these men. Why aren't they not all hanging out together somewhere, right? Makes no sense to me. I'm like, you guys just got to go. So Aaron says, "No worries. I'll be back at 5:30, and I'll do the whole groom coming back situation." So Barbie, the mother-in-law, texts Aaron, "When are you coming back?" He says, 6:30. And I'm thinking, that's weird, because they were on this tight schedule. They'll be back 5:30. Then they tell me they're on a boat. So the father whose house it's at, he has a boat at Dinner Key Marina. So he and the father of the bride decide they're going to have their own party with all the men, who's all the women are at the bridal shower. So he takes everyone out on his boat, like a 40-foot plus sailing boat in the marina. And they're all having their party, they're all doing the thing. They all come back more lit than any woman at this bridal shower who's been there at 1 o'clock. And they're all trying to play it cool, like, yeah, we got this. And
What
that's
time they
when
got there?
they got there about 6:30. And that's when the second party started.
He came from the Keys back up here?
Dinner Key, it's near Coconut Grove.
Oh, Dinner Key. Never, I
And
don't
that's
say-
when the second party started. So by 8:30, they all
I
look
know
at me.
that.
They say to me, "How are you still in your shoes? Why didn't you bring a change of anything?"
Why in the
Because,
world?
again, the Jewish mother was not told.
Well, hold on.
Bring a change of
Why
shoes,
is there a
bring a
one-
change of clothes.
Why is there a 1 o'clock anything? Who the hell celebrates anything at 1 o'clock? And what the hell is a bridal shower? A guy doesn't do a bridal shower.
It's where she gets all her lingerie.
God, please. You could do that any day of the week. I thought it was the other way.
Bachelor party.
Yeah, because I was looking, where
no,
they go
that's
to
in
the
2 weeks
clubs,
in
they
New
bring him
Orleans.
back lit.
The bachelor's for the boys, the bachelor's for the girls.
No, the guy comes back lit, and he may be wearing some thongs or something of that nature.
If he wants to get married.
Well, it depends whose thongs they are. It could be hers, but that's
But I
what
will tell
we're
you,
familiar with.
It was
3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
beautiful. The nicest people. So nice to be part of this great family.
I don't know about any of that. I
Really
gotta find
nice.
out what that is. A bachelor party. It ain't no bachelor
But
party.
you got to film it in more in the Latino culture. My
We don't
two
do
peeps
that.
over here. You guys sort of left me hanging to figure it out on
Can't
my
help
own.
you.
Yeah, I
Don't
see
know
that.
what that is. Can't help you. I know about the other one. Take the guy to about 40 clubs, and then now I got Hideaway. If I take
Yeah, you can't take
If
it.
I
You're
take,
not taking. You
I
can't
take
my
your
son
son
to
to
the hideaway.
Hideaway, you may not see him for a couple of days. All I gotta tell you.
I know, but it was a great weekend. You got to see a movie. There's another movie out called Yo People. Anyone see that with Jonah Hill on Netflix?
Yes.
You saw it?
I think I just
This
saw it.
big trending movie. Jonah Hill, Julie Marie Dreyfus. What's her name? Julie Louise Dreyfus, and whole thing about
Yes.
your people and my
That was
people. And so
great.
she's this Jewish woman and raising Jonah Hill as her son, and he's like a podcaster, kind of doing his own thing, and he marries a black woman, or he starts dating a black woman, and Eddie Murphy is her father.
Oh God.
Yes,
So
I
it's a
saw
coming
this
together,
weekend.
and they're Muslim, and this one family's Muslim, and one family's Jewish, and what that's like for you people.
Oh God.
So,
Eddie Murphy being anybody's
You gotta watch.
father.
It's on
oh
Netflix.
God.
You gotta watch it. It is hilarious.
I'm sure Eddie Murphy's hilarious. I wanted to say Friday we were in here. Now you guys seen the movie Scarface? So Scarface was in the house on Friday, and one of the actors, Manono, I think was his name. What's his name? What's his real name? Stephen
Thank
Bauer.
you,
Was in the
Stephen
house.
Bauer.
And it's amazing because the kids get lit up because here you have somebody who they've seen on the big screen. And what a nice guy. His wife was even nicer than him. What nice people. And they were in here and they loved the studio. He says, all the studios I've been in my life, I've never seen anything like this, and yada, yada, yada. And then they like to drink. So I sort of kept it to a minimum. But what a bunch of nice guys. And then there was the other guy that has that movie coming out as well. So anyway, I can't make this announcement official
Then
because
don't do it.
No, I'm doing it. No, we don't do it.
'Cause you were told not to do it.
I don't care. Hey, it's my show. I was told that Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield are going to be in the house hopefully at the end of the month. It's not confirmed yet, but if it is, I'm going to set it up because Mama Ali's picture, they were all in the lobby looking at Mama Ali's picture. So I called her. She's in Chicago. And her nephew was here. He says, she ain't going to answer. Hey, honey, how are you?
She always
Hey,
answers
Mama
for you.
Ali, always. I say, you're here. Your nephew says, she tells him, what are you doing there? You ain't supposed to be there without me. That's my house. And everybody got to talk to her and everything.
Nice.
So, a lot of fun Friday. It was the Sixth Borough with Joe and Denise. Nice show. It was entertaining for the kids, and they all learned something. And it was a nice start to the weekend, which I did nothing.
Yeah, can't say the same. The only
I
thing I
did
was home
nothing.
for was to sleep and then to start again the next morning.
You were partying.
Partying, yeah.
You were doing the disco bamba, whatever.
All
the
of
hell you
that. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. When we come back, more music, new show starting tomorrow, the Meta Lifestyle Magazine show, live at 7 o'clock, and, well, it's kind of live twice, 3 and at 7. So more to come on that.
3 or 4.
Let's talk baseball, mental health awareness, and good thing
Football.
you're here, resiliency, mindset resiliency that we all need, but especially in the sports arena. So more to come. We'll be right back.
All right.
Known for his Art Deco Cubist style and compositions with dancing saturated color, Ken Bieberman has lived and breathed art his whole life. From the early 80s, he's influenced the Art Deco district of Miami Beach. Featured in numerous restoration projects, hotels, galleries, and clubs, Bieberman creates for everyday folks and celebrity clientele. He's also the proprietor of Art Repro, a giclée and scanning company in Pompano Beach. When it comes to scanning high resolution, size is not an issue. Professionally scanning art up to 10 feet and 64 inches in width, Art Repro utilizes state-of-the-art equipment. On quality canvas or paper, archival ink and printing mediums are put to use. Art Repro ensures colors are true and every nuance of the art is captured, including the canvas weave. Perfection is the priority. Contact artist Ken Bieberman today at 954-547-0095 or visit his website www.artrepro.net.
Being A successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Le Sorel Restaurant, home of the authentic Italian tradition, offers a large menu that consists of seafood, steak, homemade pasta, brick oven pizza, and homemade desserts including a wide wine selection. We also have the best bar in Boca Raton with delicious cocktails, homemade limoncello, cappuccino, Italian espresso, brandy, and other specialties, open every day with a lunch and dinner menu. For more information or to make a reservation, contact lesorelrestaurant.com or call 561-235-5301.
There is no way to ignore it. You hear it on the news, online, from your friends and family. What happened to my money? Whether it got hit by falling stocks and bonds, with the coronavirus, shrunk by a floundering 401k with low interest rates, and is riding the extreme ups and downs of the stock market with political elections. Many Americans are worried about their money and how they're going to retire. Help protect your financial future now and call J.D. Mellberg for your complimentary book from a leading financial firm that shows you ways not to run out of money whether the market goes up or down. This free book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms that can protect your money for a lifetime. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report summarizing the rates and benefits of annuities from hundreds of top-rated insurers, helping you to find ways to get up to 33% more income in retirement. That's right. 2 books, both absolutely free, for calling J.D. Mellberg. Help protect your financial future.
Call 877-643-3015.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Perfect. By magic wand.
What the hell is that?
Katie and I are kind of getting in sync. One more time. How do you like that? Boom. Nice, Katie. I like it a lot.
Excellent.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Welcome back, everyone. Mental Mindset
It
Monday.
must be part of that thing you went to on Saturday. You've come back like a different person. When you're around screaming Latina Ricans,
Unbelievable.
things change.
Unbelievable.
They will change you.
Let me tell you, the music. Now I understand
Would they
why
play
you
salsa?
want everything. The whole music.
You've never been to a Latin party?
No.
Wow. In all your life, you ain't never been to a Latin. You lived in Texas.
That's not the same. That's
No?
that's Tex-Mex. That's not like
Well, I'm
that's
gonna tell
not
you
like
something.
Miami.
Someday we'll go to New York and I'm gonna take you to the Bronx, to a Bronx party. And then you're gonna see something you ain't never seen before.
Did anyone watch the Grammys last night?
No, I heard about them though.
A woman, I don't even know what song it was, New York, raised in the Bronx, and beautiful woman, beautiful voice, and all she kept saying was, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm here.
They brought
Among
in
everybody that I've watched my entire life to win this award, I can't believe I won this. I can't believe I won this. They did a whole tribute, 50 years to hip hop.
Yeah, they brought in Run DMC. They brought in
brought
all these
everybody.
guys, and then they brought in the new people. They did something really, really nice for the community yesterday.
It ran late. It ran until about midnight.
Yeah, and you see how Beyonce got the most awards ever in the history of that. And she was late for the first one, stuck in traffic. So they said, she's stuck in traffic, stuck in traffic. So by the time she got her third, she was the numero uno, I think her 37th
Grammys ever, right?
Grammy.
Amazing.
I mean, it was a good show. I heard they did a lot of different things last night. I couldn't stop talking about it.
Who knows Cliff Terracuso?
That's my husband.
That's your husband. He says, this show is awesome. Thank you, Cliff. Glad he's watching. Cliff, give us a call. Let us know how everything's going. But I'm excited for these new guests we have. We've got, of course, amazing music we're going to kind of salt and pepper the show with. We've got Mr. Baseball, Phil, Phil Toronto, and Robin's joining us of L4. What does L4 stand for?
Living life, loving life. Because why not? We get to live and love and create whatever life we want, so we might as well just live it and love it. And
100%.
all of the stuff that comes along with it.
Robin Gargano, and it's really nice to have you here because we were saying earlier, Mental Health Monday. Mondays are hard for people. You know, forget Monday morning quarterback and the whole sports arena. Monday morning for people, Mondays, highest rate of suicide, depression, the Sunday scaries, I gotta go back to work on Monday. But you've taken all of that and you've shifted it into the sports arena. What is that, how does that work?
Mental skills, right? It's a part of life. It's 90% of the game. It's really 100% of life, right? If we can put our mindset in a way that serves us and protects us, then we can thrive no matter what. So I started in the resiliency space and then transitioned over to sports. We're a sports family. I love helping athletes, but there's a lot of pressure in the game. There's a lot of outside noise that comes in. So my partner and I come in and we train athletes and individuals on how to be the best version of themselves and up-level themselves to that elite level that maybe they can't even see, but it's inside of them.
Is it through mindset skills, or is it through like hand-eye coordinate? Remember we worked with this company and they would do this peripheral training and you had to touch things and get yourself in this mind space?
Yeah, so that's like a cognitive tool that is used for concentration and focus, and those are fantastic and wonderful. What my partner and I do, she's an energy medicine practitioner, and I'm a resiliency strategist and mental skills coordinator. I work in complex trauma. So we've got pillars and tools that we use to train you on how to see things differently, how to internalize things differently, and then actionable steps to be intentional with your mental fitness every single day. Mental skills is something that everybody should be doing every single day, but we have to have the pillars and the tools and the skill set in order to train ourselves on how to think differently. Because all of this outside noise and judgment comes in, we take it in, and it shifts our entire belief system and well-being. So we work on training the mind through specific skill sets. And
It's
some
more
of
than
those,
just meditation in the morning.
way
No,
more
way
than
more.
meditation.
I
But
gotta-
that is important.
I gotta bring it up because if you ever played, I don't know in high school if you play sports, and sometimes they took you to a stadium and there's people. It could be 500 people. That game is different. When you play in front of your parents, that game is different. So I'm going to bring up the Super Bowl is coming. The Eagles haven't been to the Super Bowl. That team, that particular team, hasn't been to the Super Bowl in a while. So would they bring somebody in like you to sort of, I mean, you look around and you're seeing so much drama, and this week is going to get, it's going to get hyped up even more. And the game is, it melts you. All of a sudden, you can't perform because you're like, look, like a deer in the headlights at the beginning of the game. Do they bring you in to prep players like that?
Yeah, that would be a great solution to combating the pressure, right? We work in controllables versus uncontrollables. So the pressure is something that we take in and we feel, but everything else outside of it, it's an uncontrollable. So whatever happens on that field during that game, you're going to allow stuff to come in that is going to mess with your mind. What can we control? So we would come in, let's say it would probably be like a month before the Super Bowl, and we would start training athletes on how to process your thoughts in a way that works for you. So if this is your pain point, right, I can't take in all of this pressure. This is too much, right? The most watched sporting event. Okay, well, what can we control with that? How can we make our mind think differently to use that, right? If that's your pain, let's use that as your power. Let's think of it in a different mindset. You're here, you made it. You're in that 1% of the 1%. That's a beautiful thing. So we would come in and we would train and get them into a position of, this is amazing and awesome. I deserve to be here, and we just block out all of the noise.
And the major leagues and the NFL, I mean, you're looking at the top of the game, Phil. When you sign these players, you already know where some of this pressure is going, if they ever hit the big time, you know, pitching in the World Series, playing in the World Series is not the same as playing in the playoffs. Being at the Super Bowl is not like any of the games that it took to get you there. The intensity gets it could be even violent, how you react. Do you know going in, Phil, when you sign these players, do you have them looked at so you can sort of feel your way as success builds, what to do with them in that arena?
That's a good question. Up until Robin and I started talking about what she's been doing, it never really kind of dawned on me. I mean, obviously, I always knew that the game is, has a mental capacity to it, and you have to understand to be able to turn the page when things happen and try to move on from any kind of bad situations you may come up on, and whether it's a strikeout or a bad performance, you need to learn how to move on. But I've really been educated from what Robin does from a sports perspective of how the players kind of think, what goes on in their minds, whether it be in the locker room, whether it be outside of their daily routines. Because, I say this all the time, people don't understand. Yes, they're sports, pro sports players, and they're in the public eye all the time, and they're just out there trying to do their jobs. So you have to understand, like, talking to them, and when they're doing their jobs, they're people too. They go through the same challenges that we all go through on a daily basis, no matter what. Getting that special autograph for your son is always appreciated, but also understand they're there doing their jobs. So it's a different type of mentality to understand where your client is from a perspective of his mindset.
Have you ever seen Ted Lasso?
Yeah, of course.
So they bring in, the psychologist, and she just watches. But it made me think of it when we were talking before, for your Bird Talk show, that this must be what you have to deal with, and then you bring Robin in. But Phil, when you're working with your clients and your players, to understand the wholeness, I want to say like the gestalt of the whole thing, because here's you got the player, and then there's the wife, and there's the kids, and there's the relocating, and then there's the job, and then here's you trying to sign it in this nice little bow package to make everybody happy, and just waiting for like that next shoe to fall.
Yeah, it's, I had to be educated by Robin to understand how do you approach a player to understand what's going on in his life outside of work or even inside of work. It's not easy to say, hey, are you okay? Or why have you struck out 15 times? Are you going through something that's bothering you mentally or what? It's not easy to ask that question, because you also have to have all the confidence in the world that your client's going to kind of snap out of it, and slumps happen and bad games happen. They're professionals. There's not a perfect professional out there. I don't care who it is or what sport it is. But to understand and identify it, that's the key point to say, okay, now I need to have somebody like Robin help me out with that particular player. I can't do it. There's a level of appreciation, and there's also a level of responsibility that I have. But I can't fix everything, and I can't help on everything. And I'm not trained like Robin is to help in that capacity. But it's identifying it to understand that they may need somebody like Robin.
Well, it's important that you do that, because bringing Robin in it doesn't resolve the problem, but at least you're giving the player an opportunity to address the problem. When I had my 13-year-old travel team, we played 80 games, and we lost 63 of them. And the parents were going crazy. I don't like this, and what are we doing, developing losers? It was travel. And I learned at that moment, it says they can't play under pressure. So what I did was, I took them to a stage in front of 1,000 people and made them all identify who they were and what they wanted to do. And I scared them straight, because if they could play under pressure, this is what it was like. And we started playing in stadiums, no more back most city parks. It started being in stadiums. And I started to develop, by the age that they were 16, they became all-state champion, because all of a sudden that team stayed together and they were able to handle the pressure. The pressure is always on. You start when you're young, you go to that next level, you go to that next level, and then they're going to go to you because you're signing them. They're going to say, okay, how do I handle this? Everybody's going to tell you they can handle the pressure. You know that. But the moment you talk to them, you're going to see it. And you're gonna realize it that he may need or she may need, and girls too. I had a champion play for Pittsburgh, all college, and I could see it at the beginning of the development because they're very shy. You could tell the relationship with the parents, and all of these things take place. So it's smart that what you've done is you brought in a bigger part, an important part of your team, because when you sign that big ball player, he's going to have to play under pressure, which could be anything. And he's going to be able to turn to somebody and say, this is what's going on with me. And you're right, they don't talk. They don't talk. You got to get it out.
Well, that you both brought up such a great point, right? Athletes especially are afraid to talk, right? And we've become so desensitized to ourselves. Why are we so afraid of ourselves? Why are we so afraid of these things called emotions? They're so scary, right? Like, oh, I got to feel the feelings now. And I have a lot of guys that say that to me, like, I don't want to feel that feeling. That is the feeling that's going to push you ahead of the next guy that's afraid to feel it, right? That's why I say suffering is strength. I'll use all the alliteration terms I can. Pain is power.
But why? Why is pain power and why is suffering strength? How can we take this negative? Right? We do a lot of women empowerment. So many women come in and they say, I had to be so broken before I crawled out and I said, I'm going to take me back. Same thing in sports?
We all started from somewhere, right? And so in sports, mental toughness is, I hate how mental toughness is talked about. And it's just coming to the forefront now of change, but it's, you have to compartmentalize your feelings. You have to put it in a box. And when you get on that field, you are just on no matter what happens. Absolutely not. Those feelings are what's letting in all of that anxiety, that pressure. It's surmounting, it's getting bigger because we're not feeling things that are serving us. So whatever it comes from, even if it's in a negative space, it came from somewhere. You're a person first, a player second. Let's not hide from that. Wherever this fear is, it came from a place and we're going to dig it out. We're going to remove it and we're going to use it to your benefit. So we get to start from the grassroots of who are you as a human being that's hindering you from becoming the best player.
It's interesting because it's not only players, you take musicians.
Well, Johnny perked his ears up. I was going to ask you what resonates with you and what she's saying.
A lot of it. We're talking about the similarities between athletes and musicians, career musicians, and that. I think it's the same thing. There are highs and lows. But I had a question for both of you. There's an interesting thing on Netflix about Marty Fish, especially. That I think you've seen that.
Seen that
I saw it
documentary.
last night. It was amazing what he went through, and under the cover of holding it inside, and it almost destroyed him. And the survival. It's just an amazing story. If anybody gets to see that, Phil, the question I was going to ask you is I'm trying to have a hard time remembering what I was going to ask you, but it
That's
had
the
something to
question
do with
that-
the question of when you see a young athlete that you're thinking about signing, and the question is, do some people set their limits? I mean, you're a great high school athlete. You're going to college. You get a scholarship. Do some people cut off at that point? To go to the next level, you have to have a vision to go to the next level. Many people, I think some of the Heisman Trophy winners don't succeed in the NFL because that seems to be their goal. Yeah. And once you reach a goal, they don't see it after that. I don't know, but there's big money supporting those things. So how does a scout, how does an agent pick a winner?
Good question. Well, Cliff Taracuso could probably answer that a little bit better than I can. I mean, look, everybody has their peak, okay? I peaked at 10 years old, and I became an agent because of that. I wasn't a good player past a certain point in my life. It's very difficult at the pro level. People don't understand the grind that kind of goes along with it.
You have to be.
They take sports as, okay, I'm used to doing it this way, but when I get to the MLB or minor league baseball or any professional sport, it's going to be a little bit of the same. It's not. It's totally different. It's totally different, the training aspect of it. The fact that somebody's always after your job. You can be a stud high school player, stud college player, and they may not recruit anybody to replace you, but a professional organization is looking to replace you every day.
Yeah,
Why?
there's not a lot of patience.
No. Even when they're winning, they're still looking to replace you. So you have to be on your game every step of the way.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, every day is another day for you to continue to keep proving yourself to the organization. And interesting enough, you're not trying to really prove it to yourself, but in a way you are. Because am I good enough to stay here? Am I good? And that's where, again, a person like Robin comes in to make them understand, look, you got to this point. There's a reason for it. You just don't get to this point without hard work and determination and passion and a God-given talent. But if you don't believe in yourself past that point, then your career is going to be, unfortunately, not what you would like it to be.
In a musical sense, the thing that's important most of all, and I look at my kids too, and who just they're at the end of their high school careers, and you need to enjoy the game. You have to love the game, and not the things that are around it. You got to love to play baseball. You know, I don't care if I'm getting paid for it or not. As musicians, I've lived my whole life playing music because I love it, not because I'm getting paid for
But you
it.
got to keep the noise out also.
Yeah, all of that.
That's why what Robin does, you can't just take out football or baseball or music. You're touching lives of the entire family. When you work with an athlete, it's like when they told me about Alzheimer's. It's not just one family member that has Alzheimer's. You're touching at least 19 people that surround this one person. Do you work with the entire, I want to say family, team, agent, everybody at the same time?
It depends. Excuse me, it depends. An organization, a team, yes, we work with an entire team. We do workshops with them. A family unit is different because if you're hired by the family, then it needs to be a very distinctive way of training, right? Because you're training each person in a different way. It becomes the therapy session. But when I work with one athlete, you're 1,000% correct. It affects how he or she deals with a relationship, deals with communication with their spouse, deals with responsibility, discipline. It really does infiltrate the whole unit. Just if you're working with one person, you end up working and rebuilding a family unit as well. So it's very different training, but even if it's just one person that you're working with, it does affect in a positive way the whole circle that surrounds that player.
And also, it has to do with the sport. I think for baseball, you're individual when you bat, and it's like a team thing to get that chemistry going. Tennis player, a little bit different. Musician, a little bit different because you could be having a bad day, and you still got to perform. And you got to bring it because the cameras don't lie. I always said that. You could be on camera, and you know you're not having a good day, man. The camera's going to pick it up. And then you got to try even harder to make it work. Got to come up with different music, different styles. How many horns did you bring today?
I got four horns today. Sax, flute, clarinet, and trumpet.
4 horns. I mean, you got to bring it, and it's every day. And then after this, you're going to do another gig, and another gig, and another gig after that. And even though you're tired, you got to go and do your thing. It isn't a one sport deal. It isn't a one game thing. And there's one game in football, you know, your body hurts for about 6 days. Hurts a lot. So
I'd like to make a point about baseball. It's probably one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult sport, because I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I play 8 instruments very well, up to 10 instruments, and whatever needs to be played. But in baseball, you have to have expertise in many different disciplines. It's one job to actually throw a ball, and every player needs to know how to throw a ball in baseball, and every player needs to know how to go to bat and hit a ball, and every player needs to know how to catch a ball. And those are like 3, and every player needs to know how to run and sprint and catch while you're running and sprinting. Each one is a different discipline. That's why it's so difficult, and I relate to it because I have to practice each and every instrument as if I only played one. And I think that is so unique that you chose. You saw the issue, and you chose to get a professional to get inside the people so that they can be the very best they can be. They're not just In ping pong, you're just doing basically one thing. And hockey, you just all the other sports, you just basically do one thing. But in baseball, it's more difficult than anything because you have to do all these different disciplines, and that's what I have to do.
I'm excited. We're going to get you on all the different horns. But before we go to commercial break, the question is, what do you think about the Pro Bowl being flag football now?
I hated it.
That's the question.
on.
And then we're going to go to commercial.
What a
I
piece of
honestly,
junk.
I haven't watched. Honestly, I haven't watched the Pro Bowl in probably like 5 or 6 years. Yeah, I've lost a lot of interest in it.
You should see the one they came up with this
Yeah.
weekend. Unbelievable. What a piece of junk that was. I mean, I could have come up with a better plan than that. The egg toss. Did you see NFL players throwing eggs at one another? See, they don't break in their hands. Really? Come on. These are multi-million-dollar athletes, and that's
Why
what you're
are they
going to be.
doing that?
Because that's what they did. It was all the competition. Then they played the flag football thing at the end, which was kind of unique how it ended. The AFC lost, which makes me upset. But I think that they could have come up with a better game plan than that. I understand that they don't want anybody getting hurt and everything else. I don't think it works in the NFL. There's too much pain in that game.
I
for
wanted
nobody
just
get
to
hurt.
comment too on what we were just talking about with how difficult that sport is as far as baseball is concerned. Most people that say, and I'm sure a lot of us have heard it, how boring baseball can be.
I heard
Even
that.
now, they're trying to speed up the game and do everything to kind of engage in the fans a little bit more. It is the most difficult game. It's the hardest game to break through from a professional sports standpoint to get to the major leagues. Not many people can hit a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Not many people can catch a ball that's going off the bat at 104 miles an hour. I mean, just think about those simple things right there, how difficult this game is. And then on top of it, the pressure that goes along with losing your job or becoming a free agent and where my family's going to go next. There's a lot of things that go along with being a professional athlete than just the game itself. But the hardest part of it is playing the game, playing it because you love it, playing it because it's a passion of yours, but then succeeding in it as difficult as it is. It's almost impossible.
And also, it's the only sport where your stats, your score, your history is all documented. All sports do that, but it's the only sport that it shows errors.
That's right.
Errors.
Not
because the
fumbles.
other sports, they make errors, but they don't tell everybody, all the fans. Now, I actually made a couple of mistakes in one song I did before. I did the solos on.
You?
I did.
No way.
On
Errors?
Just the Way You Are. I haven't played it in several months. And I made a couple of mistakes on Just the Way You Are on the solo. And I take pride in doing that song because that particular solo is done by a known, well-known jazz saxophonist, Phil Woods. They didn't use Billy Joel's regular saxophone player. They used a real jazz guy to do that one. That's why that song, that solo sounds so amazing. But I made a couple of mistakes, but
Still made
nobody's
me
going to
cry.
dock
Wouldn't
my
even
pay.
It was so beautiful, and you still continue.
And you have to keep on going, and
you kept
hopefully nobody
going.
heard it. But here, you make too many errors in baseball. You're done.
What about,
You're
what about the greatest?
You're done.
What about the greatest era, 1986 World Series and Bill Buckner right through the leg?
Oh, boy.
Not only did they threaten this guy, he had to leave the city of Boston.
He had to move.
So I think it was last year they brought him back to apologize to him because he was not allowed back into the city of Boston. He had to move his family, and where he went, he had to move 3 times because the hate followed
to
him.
Montana.
Yeah, he went to live with the horses. But it was craziness. What about the guy from the Angels with 2 outs, comes in and he gives up a grand slam. He ends up blowing his brains out because he couldn't take the pressure. That's baseball too. Yeah. It ain't all about Henry hitting 715. It ain't all about the glory. It's also about the pain.
That's why Robin's here. All right, let's take a commercial break. Music when we come back, gentlemen.
Okay.
Can we bring up the maestros? And let's try something on different instruments. Write in if you want a song. If anybody wants something, you want to hear something, the guys are just great at doing this. I love
We're going
this.
to take a commercial break when we come back. Let's see what else the guys, the maestros, have at the other side of the
maestros.
studio. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
What would you do if you had a broken bone? You'd go to the doctor and use your insurance, right? What would you do if you had a serious problem with drugs and alcohol? Most people do nothing until it's too late. Your insurance can help you get clean and sober with the assistance of a place like the Detox and Treatment Helpline. Many times treatment is fully covered, so why not use your insurance to treat your addiction problem just like you would if you had a broken bone? And with the Family Medical Leave Act, you're allowed by law to take off time from work, and your employer doesn't need to know the reason. So there are two good reasons. You've got insurance you can use for your addiction problem, and with the Family Medical Leave Act, it's completely confidential. Call us right now and save a life.
Call 855-350-4504. That's 855-350-4504. Call 855-350-4504 now.
Want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call, because the best prices are not online. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner. Call today and get the best price on your next flight, guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Pitchers and catchers. jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's rootin' for that home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's once, twice, 3 strikes you out at the old ball game. Root for that home team. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's once, twice, 3 strikes you out at the old ball game. At the old, that old ball game.
Yes, we talked about that. The number one jazz song that we talked about. Oh, I gotta look at it.
Now you gotta look back up again.
Take 5?
Yes.
Take 5, yes. Can you do take 5?
Yeah, Johnny never says no. He's like, I've got this, 100%. I think music changes mindset.
Who asked for that tune?
Freddie did last week.
Somebody requested that last week. Remember? Somebody wrote in.
Yeah, I want to write him a note.
Thanks a lot.
It's actually one of my signature songs.
That's right. That's what you said.
1959.
What's your song with your husband, Robin?
Oh, gosh, many.
Take me out to the ballgame. Oh yeah. He loves the Latino folk. He's Brazilian and Portuguese, so really, I mean, Mark Anthony's always on. Yep.
Johnny's thinking.
Well, yeah, I used to play a song by Mark Anthony, but I don't think I remember it by now. But Brazilian stuff we got.
Ipanema. Who said Ipanema? That's one that was requested. I got one for you.
What you got?
Sing, sing, sing with a swing. Benny Goodman. Can you do it?
John, you're like killing Johnny over there.
Can you do it?
I gotta turn his phone off.
That's a tough one, ain't it?
Without the drums, come on, man.
No? Okay, okay. All right, take
Fly me
it.
to the moon.
That's...
Fly me to the moon, something easy. What Josh say, moon dance?
Oh, we got A minor.
A minor.
This is good.
Van Morrison, yes. It's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. Fantabulous night to make romance, beneath the cover of October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to please to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. Seem to whisper in us, and all the sun lights seem to shine in your blush. Can I just have one more moon dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance to you, my love? I really wanna make love to you tonight. I can't wait till the morning is come, and I know the time is just right, and straight into your arms I will run. When you come, my heart will be waiting. sure never long. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make it my own. And every time that I touch you, you just tremble inside. And I know how much you want me that you can't hide. Can I just have one more dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance to you, my love? One more dance with you in the moonlight on a magic night, on a magic night, on a magic night, on one magic night. Yeah, can I just have one more dance with you, my love? You.
Pick one. Uno.
Hope I know it.
He's thinking.
Yeah, it's a tough question. It's always a tough question.
What's your favorite tune of today?
I can't believe they're actually here on a Monday morning after gigs all weekend long.
I know,
That's
because
what's
we
pretty
sent- we sent-
unbelievable.
That's true. That's amazing to me too.
That you guys are here?
When I saw the phone today, this morning, it was 11 o'clock. What?
Where were you this morning? Where were you over the weekend?
I was up in West Palm Beach at the Rain Dancer Steakhouse.
This morning?
Over the weekend, Saturday night. How
yeah,
was
yeah, how
it?
was that?
It was great, man. Big steaks there. It's my first night there.
Did you have a steak?
No, I did not. No.
You never get to eat when you perform, right?
You have to work 10 to steak at 10 o'clock. I can't do it.
Can't do it. How about you, Anthony?
wake up.
Where were you over the weekend? What gigs you have? Keeps to remember.
There's many. I actually did private things, private shows for private audiences. Grab the mic. Okay, yes. Where was I over the weekend? If you want to know that, I actually.
He's got to check his
It's just
calendar.
the way it is. It's just the way it is these days.
He was
I have to look on the schedule.
Played a gig in South Dakota.
Friday I did something. I did a private show at 2 o'clock and then took Mom out to Japanese. In Weston. And then I did a private show on Sunday. So it wasn't a strong, heavy weekend. I'm actually here temporarily. I just moved to Nashville, Tennessee 3 months ago, and I came here for my cousin's wedding 2 weeks ago, and called my agents, and some people gave me quite a bit of work here. So, but then I leave in 2 weeks. I'm out of here, back to Nashville, and doing a bit of business there. I'm actually in a Louis Armstrong tribute band, and we have to do a show. So the reason I have to leave is I got to do a show on February 18 in Nashville. And so, but we're here having fun. Thank you, Johnny. It's,
All right, let's do a Louis
there's no
Armstrong after
coincidences.
commercial
Thank you
break.
so much.
No, there are no coincidences.
No.
Johnny, you want to do a Louis Armstrong after commercial?
Red roses too.
Perfect.
And he sees them bloom in Tennessee too. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Now the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the skies, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I got that from you. I stole that bit from you because of you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They learn much more than I know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yet I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical, artist Gina Bella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions. Expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay, her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, Gina Bella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on Gina Bella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
Ever needed a good read? Maybe a book to keep your mind off things. Frank A. Ruffalo is an internationally known author and accomplished screenwriter. He's written many successful novels with amazing stories. Fiction adventures like The Lady of the Harbor, The Trihedral of Chaos, Gabriel's Chalice, 10048, and many more. For more information, visit www.frankaruffalo.com or you can find Frank Ruffalo on Amazon.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. With your insurance, you may qualify to get a new CGM right now at little or no cost to you. By wearing a small remote device, you can immediately reduce the painful finger sticks. They're accurate, easy to use, and help you make better diabetes treatment decisions. If you take insulin 3 or more times a day or use an insulin pump, I want you to call right now and take advantage of our free shipping offer.
Bright, bold, beautiful.
Audrey Omar creates artwork pieces that make a statement in any room. Using ethically sourced material, these handmade artworks are made in collaboration with divine higher power. This unique method gives vision, passion, and energy to every piece. Find Audrey Omar's work at the Brooklyn Cafe Studios or audreynow.com. Audrey Omar, art that opens the heart.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. With your insurance, you may qualify to get a new CGM right now at little or no cost to you. By wearing a small remote device, you can immediately reduce the painful finger sticks. They're accurate, easy to use, and help you make better diabetes treatment decisions. If you take insulin 3 or more times a day or use an insulin pump, I want you to call right now and take advantage of our free shipping offer.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
It's amazing how he gets that in every show. Why do you let him control the board?
Yeah, how did he end up on the board?
Yeah.
You.
How he end up with that song again? Because every time he plays, it's something good happens
Look, she's
for
got
him.
no mic. She's not on the
Something
board.
bad
No
happens to me.
earpiece. What happened in the 30 seconds since you moved? What happened?
She got the bell to.
So we have a system.
What's the system?
We use headphone earpieces.
Where's the other piece?
But someone decided not to use it.
Which guess what? He's no longer
And then
going
he
to be able to wear
he
it.
thought he lost it. 23-year-old man.
He didn't lose it.
Lost, whatever.
It's
And
around
then
here somewhere.
I'm trying to talk to him, and he did nothing there. So I
there's
put
the
him on
buzzer.
board. I'm like, you do it. Wow, I was right. Correct.
They got your number.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
I
Ready
just
to
want.
announce this new show for tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow night, 7. I got it right. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The Meta Show, the Meta Magazine Show. What? No, 7.
Well, it's at 3, and then it's at 7.
It's at
a
3.
It's a dual airing.
Yeah, on radio. I'm talking about the radio. It's going to be airing on the radio at 7 o'clock, but it's going to be taped at 3.
Taped and aired at 3, and then on radio at
So
7.
if you want to come on down and see the taping of the show, you got to be here. No, 2:30, 3 o'clock it goes off.
We got to ask you, Karina. We're really excited. I've seen a ton of publicity right here tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Come into the studio, be part of the live studio audience for the Meta Lifestyle Magazine Show. Then we're re-airing it at 7 o'clock on the radio to give it even more, I can't say visibility, but more visibility. Audiability. What's happening for tomorrow's launch show?
Ooh, we have a lot going on. I'm very excited. Obviously, I still got to talk to the crew because we got to figure out a lot of little details still. But I'm very excited. I have 4 main guests coming on, and we also will be talking about health and wellness, and also working with children and getting them to work with nature. And it's going to be a lot of fun. And I do have someone coming in to talk about financial literacy for the youth, which is very, very important because they don't get enough of that in school. So it's going to be an interesting show. Nice little
hold
variety.
on a second. A week ago, you started
She
the
didn't
show.
even have a show.
Now you got 4 guests in one show.
Oh, and the best part is, this is the best part. I know, I always have a best part. So my girlfriend Candy is going to surprise me with an opening jingle that I haven't heard yet.
Is she coming in, or are we sending?
So that's number 5?
We're going to have to stream her in because, yeah, she's not here.
She's going to stream in and sing you a jingle. So we got 5 pieces.
In an hour.
It's going to be full show, so I'm excited.
That's interesting.
I'm not sure how it's going to be put together, and I'm looking forward to my mentors here to coach me along
We
the
have 24
way.
hours to put it together. It's all good.
Is there going to be a 6th person?
Josh.
You never know. people might just be walking in, and you'll never know. We might
It's
just
so-
have an audience.
It's so funny. She says, well, what if I don't have a guest? Well, now she has 6. You could have saved some, you know.
Oh, I have guests, and I think I might even have an audience. So
And you've got some new sponsors, which is really exciting as well.
I would love a couple more sponsors. So, did you show them my magazine? You talked about how everyone needs a little bit of everything from mental health. Well, it's the same thing. We need a balanced lifestyle that incorporates everything, and I keep coming back to that because it's very important for relationships, work, job, money, everything, it falls together. So nothing is individual. We do need to figure out what the balanced life is, and that's what the magazine and the show is all about. It's about mental, it's emotional, physical, spiritual, professional.
I gotta
just
ask you,
a little
is
bit of
there really-
everything.
I'm sitting here thinking, between Robin and you guys must think I'm nuts. I know you know I'm nuts. Is there really such a thing as balance?
I
You
call it being present.
create-
Being present?
Being present with your balance. Whatever is your balance, just be present with that.
I think people think balance means I have to do everything right now, but it's not about doing everything right now. It's about doing what you're doing right now and being here.
Amen.
Not
Present,
thinking,
okay.
not thinking what do I need to do later, and not worrying about what's already passed. Just what am I doing right now? So for me right now, I'm sitting right here talking to you guys
So
and
that's being
enjoying the
balanced,
moment.
is being present, ladies?
Being in the moment.
Oh, then I'm good.
Yeah. If you're
Then
with
I'm
family,
good.
be with family. If you're working, work. But many people are working and thinking, oh, I should spend more time at home. So the mind is there. But then when they're at the beach, they're thinking, oh, I should be at work. So if you're at the beach with the family, be there. If you're at work, be here. So
Yeah, but you can't live in 27 aspects all at the same time.
No.
And then if it doesn't work out, say, oh, I didn't do something right.
Oh, no.
Don't create a situation that
I
you're
always say-
not going to succeed at.
no, just enjoy the moment. And if you want to binge watch Netflix all weekend, do that. Have fun doing that and say, I chose to sit here and do it. Don't beat yourself up. Of, I should be doing this and I should. No, I want to sit here and just watch TV.
And that's okay just
And
to
it's
do
all
that.
okay. It's always, I always say everything is important. There's not one more important than the other. Whatever I'm doing now, that's what's important.
You did that over the weekend.
I
How
do
did
it
it
every
feel?
day. All the time. I feel great. I can't get
Did you
to
like
everything.
sitting watching TV, relaxing? Did you relax?
I loved it. Not only that, but I switched it off. I didn't go to the movie Saturday night. I switched it. Went Sunday afternoon. Everybody says, what are you doing here? I says, what are you doing here? More people knew us on Sunday than they did on Saturday night. So I said, yeah, here I am. You know what? I'm not going to follow the recipe if I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do because somebody else wrote it. I'm going to do me. I'm going to do what I like to do. I'm going to do the way. Now, it doesn't mean that I won't do things that other people like to do either. I say yes. I say no. And here we go. Went to 3Gs. Went to Mention. Went to 3Gs. And I saw this on the TV screens. And I said they were here. And I showed them the pictures and the video. And the manager at the 3G says, holy smokes, those people are real?
Actually, Mayor wrote up a great piece on the new Florida Follies, and they are every Sunday. Next Sunday it was just this Sunday the 5th. The next one is February 19th, and then February 26th, and then they go right into March. This is amazing. This is a group of...
three Gs.
3Gs
It's a
is
restaurant.
a deli he goes to.
The deli.
Oh,
Well
my
known in
goodness.
Delray.
I have a whole story about that, but I'm not talking
That
about
3Gs?
About a deli. About a deli?
Check this out if you want. These are for men and women over the age of 55 that have found or reclaimed their life's purpose through dance, music, magic, singing, and the arts. Pretty spectacular group of people.
Very nice. Now, I used you as an example today. We were meeting with some people about how to attain the show, how to make it work, how to. And I used you as an example. A lot of people would love to do a show. A lot of people would love to take that dive and try to do this thing, but they're afraid. You know, fear will hold you back.
There is such a thing, and I know people don't believe it, but there is such a thing as a fear of success.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because success comes a lot of responsibility and commitment And once you jump in, you're in, and now you have people that's depending on you. You can't just slack off anymore. And many times it's not so much the fear of failure, because failure, you could stay here and be like, oh, well, I can't make it, and oh, I'm sick, whatever. But success, once you're up there, then you got to step up.
It's an adjustment, though.
It's a huge adjustment.
Right? It's an adjustment to your mindset.
Okay, it's always about mindset.
To be successful, even one drop or a little bit more and a little bit more, it's a whole change in your mindset of accepting what's next. And I don't know, was someone was here last week?
I think a big part is if they would, whoever wants to step forward, you have to remember it's not about you. It's about what you're bringing to other people, how you could help.
Well, I was going to ask Robin, I give people an out because they're struggling with not telling me, I want to do this, but I'm afraid. So I give them an out and I say to them, listen, this isn't for everybody. Sort of like to say it's okay to back out. I'm not judging you. They think I'm judging. I'm not judging you. You don't want to do this, or you can't do it, or you can't put your hands around it. I get it. A lot of people can't do what these guys do, the music and Phil being in sports and magazines. A lot of people can't do it. But when you come to me,
right,
and you say, I wanna, then let's let's do this. Don't come charging at me and say, I want to do this. What do you mean it takes work?
But you know what? Here's another point. If they really want to do it, and you probably have different people that approached you, have them do a joint venture. Have they do a variety show?
But a lot of people don't like to joint the venture. A lot of people say, it's about me, I want me, and the more me, and there's no I in me. It's just all like, it just gets out of hand. You were going to say, Robin?
Yeah, we don't want fear to be the crutch, though, right? If they're afraid, there's a reason that they're afraid. Let's figure out what that is and then try. Okay, if you choose to change your mind, that's one thing, but don't use that as an excuse for why you can't do something, because you can do anything, right? If you come from that place, there's always an opportunity. I can do anything I put my mind to, and I'm not going to just hide behind fear, right? That's self-sabotage. That comes with a lot of the fear of success. We see that a lot in athletics, right? I don't want to let people down. What if I fail once I get there? Okay, so what? You failed.
And it's also a big deal is judgment. We're so caught. You mentioned about you do what you want, when you want, how you want. We're so caught up with judgment. What are they thinking? What are they going to think about me? And what if? And that's another thing we have to let go of, because the truth is they might talk about you for a minute or two, and 2 seconds later they forgot all about you because they're too busy with themselves. So they're really, really not that concerned.
Well, I'm going to tell you what drives me nuts is, see, Robin, you get away with telling somebody this. Don't let truth hold you back and fear hold you back. I can't. You see, because they're judging me already when they come see me. They're judging me by the house. They're judging me by my hat. They're judging, thinking that I'm trying to sell them, and they're all defensive. I'm not trying to sell you. I know it works. Listen, I'm entering my 18th year doing this. And if it didn't work, I wouldn't be doing it. If I didn't meet entertainers, guys who can blow the horns and everything else. Did I meet this lady 8 years ago, 12, because she made me make 4. If I didn't meet somebody who owns a magazine, you guys, to do what you do, I would tell you, this doesn't work. Don't do it. Radio does work. TV does work. And when you are bringing it, I don't get away with saying some of the things that you can. That's the part that drives me nuts. I don't get away with some of the things that she can. She doesn't realize that. Because for me, it always is thinking I'm always trying to sell people. I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just not.
It's interesting that you bring that up, because if we choose to listen to each other, right, in our respective professions, if I'm going to come to you and ask for advice, you've been doing this for a very long time. I trust you. We get to open up our minds to trust people, though, because I want to learn from you. So if you say, listen, I believe in you. You can do this. I can train you to do this if you want to. When you come from that place of, I believe in you and I see this in you, and you choose not to do it down the road, that's on you. But as people, we get to learn from each other, and we get to take all of that insight and build it in within us. And if somebody chooses to be like, well, I don't want to hear that from you, that's their choice, right? You're telling and giving somebody an opportunity. You can lead in that way. That's how we're leaders of our own life. That's how we train other people to be leaders of their life. You don't have to listen to me. You don't even have to believe me. But I believe in you, and here are the tools that I'm going to give you if you want to go and have your own show or your own radio show. But you can. Like, you absolutely can. It's if that person decides to not listen to you, that's on them.
But when people look at you and they think your life is so perfect, right? You're married to this guy, you've got these 2 beautiful little girls, you've got this unbelievable business. No one knows your story except you know your story. Do you explain it, or do you say, let me tell you how I got to this point?
I do, because I want to lead from a vulnerable place. Right? And I tell my story about how I lost my husband in a plane crash, and we had 7 miscarriages, and I lost my brother. He passed away in his sleep. I'm coming from a place of, this isn't about me, but it's what I went through. Just like you said, It's what I went through to get out of that. That's why when you asked me earlier, Dawn, why is suffering a strength? Because it's a part of life. We get to figure out how to use it to our benefit. And when we lead with vulnerability, other people will look and say, all right, well, I guess I can share this and help somebody else too and inspire. And that's how we grow, right? That's how we train ourselves. Vulnerability is a superpower, right? And when you let people feel comfortable in that space, it creates such a different type of a bond and a connection with people.
But Phil, I have to ask you, now in the baseball realm, you've got all these men playing baseball.
The men world.
Right? How is vulnerability used in a positive sense when you're working with your clients? Does it even exist?
You guys got to give me all the hard questions, huh, today?
I can do the whole women empowerment, you know.
I'm glad she asked you.
Vulnerability stems from no confidence, right? We have to have confidence. We were talking about this earlier on Bird Talk. I feel like I can do anything I want to do in life now. I didn't feel that way when I was in my teens. I didn't feel that way after my sister died. I love telling my story, not because I'm camera hungry. In fact, I hate the camera. The camera hates me sometimes. But at the end of the day, I love telling my story because I want people to understand how hard it was for me to get to where I am, but that you can do it also. No matter what you've been through in your life, you can do that. Athletes expect me to be like I know everything. Nobody knows everything. They don't know what's going on from one day to the next. They know they're going to go to work. They know they're going to play a game, but they don't know if they're going to lose their position. They got to keep fighting. I kept fighting through life. I kept fighting for what I wanted. Robin says, her husband says to me, I'm your biggest fan. Cliff is one of the reasons why I got where I was today, or where I am today, because he introduced me to people that kind of had my back in a sense. You know what I mean? Throughout this entire scenario, or my goals of and where I wanted to be in my life with my career. So I thank him every day. As much as he doesn't like hearing it, I thank him all the time because he was a big fan. He was a big advocate for me to kind of defeat the odds, because it's not an easy job that I do.
But I got a question for you.
Is it going to be another hard one?
Yes. Well, your success rate, because you are a talented scout, you are a good negotiator, those are givens. But you can sign a player, and the player decides to tank it. Something goes wrong. Nobody can help this kid. All of a sudden, it's a reflection on you.
Yeah.
Not on him.
That's right.
Right? So that's the aspect of what we do that is so, you talk about balance. Every show we do isn't a home run. Man, I've been close to over 1,000 shows. Not all of them are a home run the last 8 years or 12 years, none of them. How do you survive knowing you had something, the kid for whatever reason tanked, and people come, oh, you had this kid, was it your fault? And all of a sudden they're looking at you, they're not looking at him.
I've had a lot of players that I thought were going to be the next best thing. That's why we try to go get them. That's why we sign them. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. And sometimes it's not because of their fault. So you have to explain the situation. Look, guys that are playing behind Mike Trout right now, what are they doing?
Packing groceries.
Well, no. They're sitting and waiting their turn in an organization that's probably never going to bring them up as long as Mike Trout's playing.
Right.
So you have to kind of make adjustments. I have a player right now that's a bred athlete in the outfield. He is being trained to play shortstop. Never played shortstop in his day of his life. But he's a prospect. And guess what? I bring that up because he plays for the exact same team that I just talked about, Mike Trout. So he's got to make adjustments in order to get to where he wants to get. Otherwise, as long as Mike Trout's playing, he's not playing that position unless they trade Mike Trout. And the chances are them doing that are slim.
Good or bad for the game? Mets signed Carrera. That whole infield is not going anywhere. You got the National League batting champion. You got Lindor. You got the polar bear at first. And you got this kid, if they had signed him at third. So everybody in the minor league says, we're not going to play for the next 10 years in the majors. Good or bad for the game?
It's where those things happen, sometimes there's an opportunity for a trade for somebody else. A good agent is going to look at that. Now, can we force the team to trade those players? No. I've ran into many situations where guys are used as insurance. I'm running through it right now. Plenty of players. I'm not going to name the player. But at the same time, the organization is going to utilize them the best way they have to utilize that particular player, good or bad. And it can, unfortunately, mess the player up for success later on down the road, because if they're stuck in a rut, they don't get traded, the team doesn't look to get rid of them, and they're utilized as insurance, they're not going any higher than where they're at currently. So it's a tough situation.
You can't say it, you see, because you're the agent. I'm telling you, it is bad for the game. Because there ain't nothing like a
I
baddie.
don't ever want to say anything's
I
bad
know.
for this game.
No, I understand.
You know why? I love it so much, but there's a lot of things I don't agree with. Trust me. I just won't say it on air.
I know, no, and he can.
Like anything.
And he can. No, but having a kid come out of nowhere, all of a sudden, he's a phenomenon, man. You say, wow, where'd this kid come from? And it changes the game. It changes the enthusiasm in the building. Everything is contagious. We talked about that spiritual energy and everything else. Ball players are the same way.
But that phenomenon doesn't always make
doesn't.
it to the big leagues.
You're
people,
right.
People don't understand. More first-round picks didn't make it to the big
I
leagues.
get it. But if I got an infield that is 10 years contracted with $500 million, I guarantee you it ain't going to happen unless somebody breaks a leg or somebody gets injured from it. It's going to be tough. Trout has been doing it forever.
I watched a good friend of mine. He's going to know who he is if he's watching today. Sit there and look at a player and say, not bad, not bad. But let me see him do this. And when he did that, all of a sudden, now it's got a new spot on the field somewhere. And that kid made it to the big leagues.
It's like hitting
You know
that
what
high
I'm talking
note.
about?
I know.
All right.
Yeah. You
So,
watch The
Robin-
Voice and they wait for you to hit that high note on The Voice before they turn
You're
their
going to be
chair.
busy, Robin. That's all I got to tell you.
Yeah, bring it on.
I've watched guys move from one position to the next, and all of a sudden they're in the big leagues. I've watched guys that never were interested in playing a specific position, but realized that they were going to be blocked if they didn't, and go into something else. So you have to be willing. Look, the best best player is a utility player. Why? Multiple positions.
It is now.
Absolutely.
How many gloves
I'll
do you
take
bring
a
to the
utility
park?
player
8?
any day of the week.
I don't know how many instruments did you guys bring in today?
8.
8?
That's right. That's right.
That's the name of the game is
Right?
change. Adjustment and change.
Adjustment.
And that's what I love about your show, adjustment and change, because when you said, let's do this, you taught me a lesson. And today I used it because I knew somewhere along the line it was going to come at me that I want to do this, and here comes the word but. And the but was bigger than anything
The
else.
butt
in the
was
room.
here as soon as the door opened.
You know,
right?
I've been doing a lot of like coaching, sales coaching, marketing coaching, and that's what people say. Well, I don't want to sound salesy, and what they taught us is you're not selling them. You're offering a service that's going to help them. And that's the change of perspective and mentality. Again, mindset.
If everybody could do it, everybody would do it. But not everybody could do it.
Not everybody's ready to.
If you get 4 hits in 10 at-bats in the Major League history, you're in the Hall of Fame, right? Even 3.5 hits, which is very rare.
All you have to do is get a hit a game.
That's right. You know how hard it is to do
guess
that?
how nobody does it.
It's very difficult.
Nobody gets a hit a game.
And it's okay. And it's okay if that's not meant to be, because it might just not work in the long run. So maybe this is your guides telling you, let's not get into trouble later on. So just look at it again, perspective, the good side, silver lining.
Listen, check out the show tomorrow. Come at 3 o'clock. Check it out. And we'll talk to Phil. I love the segment. I love the psychology of not only sports, but of everything involved, including musicians, magazines.
Please don't
everything.
exclude the dancers.
And yeah, we'll get to that.
Stop asking me all
Because you talk.
Let's get by your first show, and then we'll talk about
I'm
the
talking because dancers at this point cannot get a job unless they are versatile. You got to be able to do ballet, jazz, tap,
Everything.
the works, because they're not going to hire you unless they can twitch you. Used to be like a ballerina was a ballerina.
We'll
That
We
was
got to
it.
wrap this
We'll
up.
get into that.
Okay.
We'll get into
They're
it.
telling me we got to wrap this up.
All right.
Tune in today, 3 o'clock. Call me Zena. Our host, Sally Bernard, is right here to answer all of your psychic questions, to connect with the loved ones on the other side. Medium and psychic Sally Bernard. She's actually here in the studio getting ready for her 3 o'clock, 888-994-4995. Thank you all so much for joining us. Mental Health Awareness Monday, Mindset Monday, Music Monday. New shows coming out for February. And we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.